The Liquidator Expedition, currently ruling the waves of No Man's Sky, has a few milestones that may be tripping you up, and even if not, they can be completed super efficiently if you know the tricks. The Fat of the Land milestone can be a real tricksy elf. The wording is to collect 900 resources in one sweep. This is specific to your mining beam. Deposits with the terrain manipulator don't count. A little testing showed me that one sweep is defined by you collecting at least one new resource from your mining beam every 5 seconds. With that in mind, the absolute best way to achieve this is to find a cave on the starting planet, stand amongst the plants and rocks, and go to town on everything. It'll complete it extremely quickly and get you way more carbon than you need for the whole expedition, and you need a fair bit in this one. Many note the organic rocks can complete it instantly, but I looked a fair bit and didn't find any on the starting planet, which is where almost everyone will or will want to complete this, meaning they either can't be found on that planet or are rare enough to not consider. Apex Predator is one of those somewhat annoying milestones, well, usually anyway. This time it is super easy. You need to find a predator type fauna that has an aggression rating above 12.0 PAV. This is super easy, not just in the first system but on the starting planet. Just head to deepish water, which you may wish to also do for blood in the water anyway, and look for the technically classified as rare but not remotely rare to find eel-like underwater fauna. This bad boy is often in multiples and will give you that Apex Predator completion on scanning. Blood in the water can be tedious. For this you have to find 3 alluring specimens, coax out the deep sea horror and defeat it. The annoying part for this one is the finding, as alluring specimens are pretty few and far between. Ideally you can get the new aquajets, a bunch of launch fuel, and just land at random spots in the ocean, scan around and move on if nothing. This milestone appeared to be bugged and has been fixed in 5.03, which as of recording this has only released to PC and PlayStation so far. The bug is that you can just kill the jellyfish that appear when shooting up certain underwater destructibles, such as those that give cytophosphate. So if you're seeing this early, it might be worth a try, otherwise it's a long road. To help out here, I've made a little base on the starting planet called Alluring Specimen X3, where you can find the 3 and get your completion super fast. And if you can't see it, here are the coordinates to the double alluring specimen it features. Metamorphosis looks fairly simple, just crush a juicy grub. However, destroying one on the ground doesn't count. You have to crush it in your inventory, and to pick one up you need the hazmat gauntlets. A prepackaged hazmat gauntlet unit is rewarded from Infestation Alpha, however keep in mind that Infestation Alpha also rewards a multi-tool class upgrade, so you absolutely want to be prepared for when you claim that reward. You'll start the Liquidator Expedition with a Sentinel gun of some kind. It'll be C class and the expedition rewards a full 3 class upgrades over its milestones. However, if you want to truly peak multi-tool, you'll want to prepare it on your primary save and copy it into the expedition save. I go through this in the recent step-by-step guide, but if you just want tips and want to take advantage of this to get a Sentinel tool with a perfect cube of supercharged slots with a hefty 40% damage bonus at S-Class, don't be so quick to claim this reward until you have the nanites ready to copy the multi-tool over. Provided you haven't yet claimed the rewards from 2 of these 3 milestones, you can get your multi-tool without spending much of any nanites, saving more than 70,000. Using any portal in the Euclid Galaxy, which is the starting one for the new folk, dial this address. Before heading through, be sure that multiplayer is disabled in your network settings. This is to prevent someone else in your lobby getting the tool before you. On the other side of the portal, head to the coordinates -21.75 by +110.99. If player bases are showing, that will make things quicker. Once at the Harmonic Camp, get out of your ship to save then reload. This is to switch the gun in the cabinet from a pistol to a rifle. Access the camp terminal and enter the code 2, 7 and 13 in any order. Then unseal the multi-tool cabinet. Now just saunter over and grab the rifle, and yes, it should be B class. Its full power is unlocked when upgrading. The rifle will be free but have damaged slots. You'll want to grab 4 Radiant Shards and 250 Atlantidium from nearby if you don't already have it to fix 5 of the slots. The other 6 require Crystallized Heart or Inverted Mirrors. The hearts you'll get plentifully in the expedition when fighting corrupted sentinels. The inverted mirrors can be obtained now or then, or even better, use repair kits on these 6 slots if you have spares. Lastly, just make sure this B-class sentinel tool is your active multi-tool when you either start the expedition or go back to it, and you'll be able to copy it over for less than 1,400 nanites. At which point you can upgrade it to S-Class using the milestone rewards, and then after using it in the expo, copy it back to the main save as a beastly S-class version. Provocateur is pretty straightforward, but I thought I'd include how I grab larval cores quickly and safely. The trick to this is simply to keep moving. You kite the biological horrors around the building, never letting them get close to you for long enough to do anything. Simply shoot an egg as you are running up to it and grab it as you pass by without stopping. Keep running around the building, shoot, grab, Don't stand in one area dodging xenomorphs, as they'll all just congregate around you, and when multiple of them hit you at once it can be pretty dang fatal. Running around will keep them spread out, so that if one does hit you it won't be a big deal. Fire in the hole is way easier than you think to complete. You can basically guarantee to one-shot it without much effort. You need to hit 4 or more hostiles with a single grenade. To do this you just need to have completed lock and load, which can be done instantly if you wanted, but will complete passively as you obliterate the hordes of horrors. Install the plasma launcher and S-class upgrade it rewards, preferably putting them in supercharged slots just for this occasion. At any of the 6 infestation type sites, which are all abandoned buildings, get a good view of a patch of whispering eggs. I like standing on the edge of the roof for this. Have your scatter blaster and plasma launcher ready and use the blaster to break an egg. Wait for the first horror to mostly emerge, then fire a grenade at it. When biological horrors emerge from the ground they are grouped, as they all emerge from a small area of ground. This makes that initial emergence a perfect time to strike. You can make it even more likely and effective, as I did here, by using the paralysis mortar to stun all spawning horrors, which will build up a ton of them in a tight area. Then quickly switch to the plasma launcher for a single shot to kill 10 or more in one hit. The Iron Giant's milestone requires you to destroy 4 Sentinel Walkers. On paper this sounds horrendous, as from testing I can confirm that while the game sometimes refers to Sentinel mechs as walkers, they do not count towards this. Meaning that for every set of 5 waves of Sentinels you're only getting a single walker. However, you can do this way easier than just fighting waves. Walkers can sometimes be found dormant around certain buildings. In my experience, these are specifically operation centres on extreme Sentinel planets. The first planet, which is the one next to station in the Rendezvous 5 or Drop Zone 5 system in the Liquidators Expedition, is an extreme Sentinel, and if my base is showing up, even better, look for the Sentinel Walker Dome base. If it isn't there, you can either use secure facility maps within the planet's atmosphere to find an operation centre, or go to the coordinates -87.73 by +146.02. When you get to the operation centre, you'll just need to ignore or fight the horrors that spawn, then walk up to the dormant walker and obliterate it. Shoot its leg armour off, then go to town on its main body. It'll go down quickly with the scatter blaster setup you have in this expo. Right after you attack this one, another will show up. Do the same to that one. It's been a minute or less and the milestone is halfway done. Rather than wait for the last wave, just jump in your ship and back out, then reload, and repeat the double kill for a speedy Iron Giant's completion. This is less a quick way to complete Timberwolf and more a warning. Biological horrors are not what you should fight in the Minotaur. The Minotaur is slow, has a turning circle of an oil tanker and isn't as well shielded as you'd expect. Biological horrors are usually easy to dodge, but do pretty damn high damage with that lunge. In the Minotaur vs horrors you will just take constant very high damage. I recommend completing Timberwolf when fighting Sentinels. It works a treat in combination with completing Purple Mist for your corrupted Sentinel kills, which will also complete scrap metal for you. When fighting biological horrors it is most important to keep moving. Strafing perpendicular to the enemy will allow you to sidestep lunges and spits, which is basically their entire attack capability. With the scatter blaster, one shot at close range will do per mob. If medium range, it could take a few. The biggest tip for this I could give you is that you cannot initiate a reload when you are sprinting, which you'll be sprinting a lot during combat. However, you can initiate a reload, then start sprinting while the reload completes without interrupting it. Just don't attack during, and you'll be fine. Once you get into the pattern of exiting sprint, clicking to reload, then re-entering really quickly, you basically avoid all damage and mow them down. A few tips for broodmothers: they shoot plasma high up to then rain down on you. To avoid this you need to sprint, so just time your reloads so you aren't stopping to initiate it while it rains down. Broodmothers do have ads, though they can be ignored. As with the biological horrors, just keep moving and they won't be an issue. While shooting them anywhere will do good damage. I find just tunnel visioning their head from close to medium range will get them down very quickly. If you have any other issues, speak up below. Whether it be me or a fellow player happening upon the video, there is very likely to be someone who can help you out.